Hi, it's Larkin. So the next phase, phase four, is something that we've seen very often. This is more societal and it's very common in the workplace. So, displacement of conflicts. And I usually call this one why fight when you can just scroll. So, this is frustration, resentment building. But what you see in the workplace is usually like around meetings. See, our society, we usually discourage emotional literacy and conflict resolution. So let me break that down. It's unprocessed frustrations, and we usually redirect them. And that's usually towards scapegoats like our coworkers, our family, and ourself. So, what do I mean by that? Well, it means having self awareness. Self awareness is noticing your own feelings and why they're happening and actually putting labels on them and to understand what's going on in that moment and what's triggering me. You might think that's way deep and way too involved and totally unnecessary, but that's what we've been told our whole lives. And it's actually multi generational. And it's what society tells us. And we're being too soft when we think about it in that context, but it's really not. It's having emotional regulation of not immediately reacting to something, but having capacity to regulate our own emotional response in a constructive way. And using a broad range of words to actually describe how we feel so that we can describe ourselves accurately. Not just saying I'm frustrated, but saying um, I'm very annoyed at the fact when I came into this meeting, I was supposed to be prepared for X, Y, and Z. But when I came into this meeting, we were discussing a different topic that I am not prepared for. And I feel out of the loop and so on and so forth. It's having a multitude of different words to be able to describe yourself in a certain situation so that you're not misunderstood. Social media reinforces performative civility while suppressing honest expression. So, this is where you would be at work and you would be in a meeting, and people are all smiling and nodding, and you yourself know that what is being delivered is a bunch of bull. And as soon as you all get out of the meeting, everybody's talking crap. You're getting calls from other people. Do you hear what they're doing to us? I can't believe that they're doing all of that. No one's going to go for it. And what that is, performative civility, is outer display doesn't match what's on the inside. And that's because they want the outer display to be acceptable to whatever audience they're performing for, rather than to be authentic and match what they're actually feeling on the inside, and to do it in an appropriate way. That's performative civility. And we're seeing a lot more of that in today's day and age. Everybody wants everybody else to be more authentic. And I have been witness to that in my own work history. It was building a company, trying a different technique for the company. So we had a bunch of employees and we were trying to go a different route. So we were changing basically everything that we were doing and bringing a different type of employee in. And the way in which we were doing it, the employees were not happy. How we incentivized them, they were not happy. And when we would change how we were doing that, they were even more unhappy with it. And all of the higher ups were in agreement that we needed to change how we were doing these things, right? To keep the people happy, but not only that, the way in which we were doing things, we didn't really agree with. We felt like it was a little bit unethical and maybe didn't align with our values as humans and as a company. So we all put together a survey that we sent out to the employees. We got their feedback of what they're looking for a company, and as employees, what they were looking for from their supervisors. And we put that all together. We put it together as a PowerPoint. We all were on the, we met together. We were all on the same page with how we were going to be delivering this, what the deliverables were going to be, and what the end goal and the message was going to be. And as soon as we got into that meeting with who we were delivering it to, everybody clammed up. We didn't actually even go over anything we had prepared. We started off by what we're currently doing for the employees, they're not happy with. And that's exactly where we stopped. We got extreme pushback. We got, this is the route we're going. This is what was decided. You weren't in that mix. And everybody on screen was smiling and nodding and agreeing of like, you know what? Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do. And we're just going to push forward. And we all agree to this and we all believe in it. And yay. And it's exactly opposite of what we said we were going to do. We were going in there saying this was a complete mess, completely what we didn't agree to. We thought it was unethical. It didn't align with our values as a company and as human beings. We did all of this work to survey people and what we were going to do, but every single person in there was nodding and smiling and doing the opposite. And then we got out of that meeting and everybody was calling everybody else, being like, I can't believe just what happened. And I almost felt like it was a whirlwind. I felt like it didn't actually really happen. I was confused. And that's really what stage 4 is about. It's the displacement of conflicts. Nobody actually wants to have the conflict, or they want to push it off on somebody else, blame somebody else about it, and just, you know what? I don't even care to even have the conflict right now. It's not even that important. When it is deep down, they're feeling that, but they don't want to confront what's going on. And that's really where you're at when you're at this point of burnout. So, if you've been experiencing that, some of the things that you can do is journal about it. A lot of people don't like journaling. Why? Because it takes time. It takes time to sit down and actually write out feelings. A lot of people don't want to feel feelings um, because, one, it brings reality to your face because you're seeing it as you're writing it. But that's kind of the whole point. Research has said when you actually physically write something down, that is the best method for you to be able to get it out of your system, but also feel your feelings because it relates to the frontal lobe of your brain. So, journaling is the best thing for you. That's one suggestion. Also, when you journal, is you're naming it to tame it. And that might sound corny, but that is also another thing. Name it to tame it is another self help technique. Lastly, you can ask yourself reflective questions. And the one that is most commonly used is, where in my life is this feeling, or most likely anger, frustration, coming from or being directed?